Urinary tract infections are extremely common. Around 1 in 2 women and 1 in 20 men will get a UTI in their lifetime. Plus, once you've had one UT challenge, you're way more susceptible to another in the future. That's why you just need Just Thrive's UT123. This product can actually prevent UTIs while maintaining your urinary tract health. UT123 targets both immediate and long-term relief. We've all heard to drink cranberry juice for your urinary tract, but did you know that for the full effects, you need the whole cranberry? Not just juice, but the skin, flesh, and even the seeds. Well, UT123 uses superior ingredients that utilizes the whole fruit. This supplement truly is the full package. So if you're someone who struggles with the constant urge to urinate, a burning feeling when you pee, pelvic pain, or just want to be proactive in your urinary health, Just Thrive is for you. Just Thrive is so confident you'll love their product that there is a 100% money-back guarantee on every purchase made through justthrivehealth.com. And for a limited time, you can save 20% off site-wide at justthrivehealth.com with promo code SEXWithEmily. That's justthrivehealth.com and use code SEXWithEmily for 20% off your order. You're going to love it. Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's gotta have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information about Sex with Emily, go to sexwithemily.com, which is the place to go for all your sex information. So hopefully you'll go there right now and check it out. And many of you are watching this live, which we so appreciate. It's Monday through Friday, 1 to 2, except for Wednesdays. It is Free Friday right now. I love Free Fridays. We all get to watch the show, no matter who you are, where you're living. Free Fridays. Awesome, right, Menace?
Yep, sexwithemily.com.
Sexwithemily.com.
Monday through Friday.
Right.
Right?
Right, except for Wednesdays, right.
1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Thanks.
It's always good.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Awesome. A lot going on. It's a big weekend, big Labor Day weekend.
I know. You decided on the cabin
Going
trip?
to my friend's cabin at on a lake up near kind of like 2 hours from Yosemite. I always forget exactly where it is, but it's like in the middle of somewhere. It's 3 hours from here.
How many people are going to be at this cabin?
6.
6 people.
Yeah. It's going to be a couple and me and two guy friends.
Oh, 2 guy friends.
Yeah.
Huh?
And it's going to be, let's see.
How many of the guy friends have you had sex with?
1.
1? So will you have sex with that
No.
person?
He's my ex-boyfriend, and we dated years ago, and we haven't had sex in years and years and years. He's like my best friend. He took my dog. He has my dog right now.
I know.
He's had my dog for 5 days.
Yeah, you should have sex with him then for
for watching my dog.
The ass off.
I'm not interested in having sex with them anymore. So actually, there's a couple, and I know it sounds weird, but it's just, we go through this every year when I go to the cabin. There is not a lot of sex that goes on.
What about the weirdo that you're dating? Like, isn't he like some art guy or something?
What
Where
weirdo?
is he at?
Oh, he's going away with some friends.
Oh, okay.
We're not spending the weekend together.
Okay.
We don't do that.
That's odd.
Yeah. Would you say that's hot?
I said that's odd.
Why?
Because if you're hanging out with each other, you would spend the weekend.
Yeah, but I've already had plans, and he's already had plans, and it's cool.
Cool. Whatevs.
Whatevs. I'm not like, yeah, I think it's better this way. I like being with my peeps because I need I haven't had a friggin' vacation in years. Literally. So long. Every time I take a vacation, I go see my family, which is not a vacation, by the way. And so I'm just going to get out of town for a few days and chill. What are you going to do? You're going to go music, concerts, and stuff like that.
Going to see Lil Wayne tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to Electronic Festival, your favorite.
Yeah. Sorry, I
and
missed that.
the rest of the weekend probably just hang out in the good old San Francisco.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today's show, I want to be a very special guest. I'm so excited. Okay, as you know, I've been talking all week about my orgasmic meditation retreat. Nicole Daedone, who's the founder of OneTaste, was on the show a few months ago. And then I went on my retreat last weekend, which we've talked about, where I got my clitoris stroked by strangers. However, one of the strangers who's no longer a stranger, we are friends, I think, for life. He's here, John. He's going to be talking about the whole experience and what he does there and his whole practice. So I'm excited about that. And then we've also got some emails we'll be reading. Some topics include being dominated in the bedroom, undressing women, and erection issues. Erection issues are coming up a lot lately.
Why?
I don't know.
I thought we had pills for that.
We do have pills for that.
People don't want to take them?
I don't know. They take them. No, people don't necessarily want a pill. They want other fixes, which there are other fixes, which we talk about all the time. You can call us now if you have any questions too, 415-992-7392. And we've got a poll, results to our latest poll that's on the website.
I really wanted to see the results for this poll because I thought it was interesting.
Which one? Which one of these constitutes cheating?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. 1% said watching porn.
Okay.
3% said thinking sexually about someone else. Wow. 7% said receiving a lap dance. Confiding on intimate level, 25%. And a whopping 64% said sexting someone else.
I said it was cheating too.
But that's the one that people think the most is cheating, is sexting?
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
I know, see?
I'm not cheating. I'm just having fun.
You're not with anybody.
You're
not with anybody.
It's a great way to, so 64%, that's like a major gap there. That's amazing. Okay, so, but I agree that sexting and all this other stuff and whatever, cheating is different for everyone. Okay, our new poll is up. Why don't you want to have sex with your partner? Here are the reasons. Yeah. Why don't you want to have sex with your partner? Okay, 1, you're angry about something. Like, think about the times in your life when you haven't wanted to have sex. Like, why is it usually? Okay, you're angry about something. You're overwhelmed with work. Sex has become boring. You're no longer attracted to your partner. You want someone else. When have you stopped having sex with your partner? And being too drunk and passed out isn't the answer.
I'll pick the last one.
You want someone else?
I want somebody else.
So you're over her?
Yeah.
Really? So you're just like one day, shut it off?
I'm
Does that
done.
ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Like I was talking about this last night that I was dating this guy and all of a sudden, this by mistake, like one of these relationships I was in this year that I by mistake, like committed to him because he asked me to and I did and it was a mistake for 2 months. And then all of a sudden one night I was just completely grossed out by him. Like he walked out of the bedroom. I was like, there's no way we're sleeping together ever again. And I'm done. Does that ever happen to you? Just shuts off? It wasn't because there was anyone else. I just was completely unattracted to him.
Yeah,
by some things he'd been saying.
Yeah, it wasn't anything sexual.
It wasn't sexual, but he had said some things that were so offensive and so off and so wrong and so not me that I was like, we're done. Done and done. Left the next morning.
Yeah,
I did sleep over. I was like, it's kind of a little too late to leave right now, but because I was tired.
Yeah.
But so I ended that relationship. So last night I went to this big event. It's for the UCSF. So Salesforce.com Foundation is a big, Salesforce.com is a huge company based in San Francisco. And there's a foundation that they run. And they're building this hospital. And so they had this huge fundraiser. And Alanis Morse was there and Jay Leno, who I got to meet both of them. It was really fun. But there's 4 guys there that I've dated. And I was with the other guy that I've started dating. And he knew. And it was kind of weird. It's kind of weird to be in a room with like.
Or did you tell him?
Well, one of the guys is kind of a known guy in the world that he knows that I dated. And then I didn't tell them all of them, but it was just kind of weird that they were all there because it doesn't happen that often. Where you walk into a room and you're like, I've been dated 4 of you. I don't know. It was lots of people. There are thousands of people there, literally thousands. And then Will.i.am played and
Sweet.
MC Hammer, and it was a big night. What?
Boo on the MC Hammer.
Yeah.
People love him, but I just.
What has he done though lately? Really?
He's really a part of a lot of internet community stuff right now, and a lot of people in the internet community like him. But there's some personal stories that I know, so I dislike him.
Oh, okay.
So
fair.
He can suck it.
Got it.
But
He
anyway.
can suck it, MC Hammer. I like him. I've met him a bunch. I always see him around at parties and stuff.
Yeah, he's always out and about.
So yeah, that was my night, and then it was super fun. Yeah, Jay Leno. He was funny. He got up and did the whole thing, but I don't love him. He's not my favorite.
It's all about Letterman, dude.
I know. I had to interview. I was supposed to interview him for this thing, but I didn't. But I was going to be like, "What? Yeah. What did you tell me to say to him?" Was that
I said,
you?
how come David Letterman is so much funnier than you?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that to him. That would have been offensive. So that was my night, and then. Yeah, I'm excited for the weekend, and I want everyone to know that we are still having our Facebook event happening. If you want 3 free months of Sex with Emily, you just have to like the Sex with Emily fan page, and we're picking someone every single day as a winner to win 3 months of Sex with Emily. And if you'll become a Friends with Benefits member, and there are so many benefits to it. You said I get all your emails, and your emails go right to the top. We give you all the sex information you need. You can also get free Fire TV, FYRE TV, which is like porn for 30 minutes, and it's awesome. It's the Netflix of porn. Any kind of porn you want, you can get, and check that out. So if you're a Friends with Benefits member, you get that.
Sweet. One more thing. We're at the Stitcher Studios here in San Francisco, and Stitcher is an app that you can download for free for your smartphone, iPhone, Droid, iPad, tablets, whatever the hell you can get an app on. And you just search Sex with Emily. It'll pop right up. If you're a Friends with Benefits member, you'll get the entire show. All you need to do is put in your password once. If you don't have a password, go to sexwithemily.com.
Thanks.
And that's it.
That's good, man. What's wrong? You seem sort of down. You seem sort of low energy today.
I'm not. I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah.
You sure? For real?
Yeah, I'm totally
You okay?
fine.
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
eat?
I ate. I'm good.
Okay.
I was just getting that out of the way. I was
No, I
trying to
appreciate it. It
remember
wasn't about that. It wasn't about that. It was your overall aura.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Now you're going to be thrown off.
No,
Are you
not
gonna be
that.
okay?
I'm totally fine.
I'm totally fine. I'm ready to go.
Okay. So
I'm
should
ready
we
to
get
do
into
the show.
some emails?
Hell yeah, we should get into some emails.
Okay. We're going to skip Sex in the News today because we've got a special guest here.
Sex in the News sucked today, by the way, because I checked the news.
There wasn't a
every
lot of
morning.
Sex in the News.
Nothing.
It's hard to find Sex in the News every day. What?
One story.
Go.
One story is the best story that I heard was the Chris Humphries, who's Kim Kardashian's new husband, randomly was getting on a flight in first class, and guess who is sitting in first class right next to him? Ray J, the guy that
Like did the sex tape
the
with
sex
her?
tape with her.
No
Yeah.
way.
But Chris Humphries didn't know who he was. He just sat down.
Holy moly.
And then so Ray J went up to him and said, "Come on, dude, you know who I am." He goes, I just want to congratulate you.
And he didn't know?
And then he kind of just like blew him off. After
Right.
that, yeah.
Oh my God. That's a good story. That's a
Yeah.
good, is that like all over the...
All over the TMZ.
Okay, I have something. I have a news story. It's a personal news story. You're not going to believe this.
What?
Yesterday, I didn't do it. My intern did it because I couldn't pull the trigger myself. Cable.
Shut the hell up.
Nope. We got the TV. Menace made me get a TV like 6 months ago, which I have not turned on yet. And I haven't had cable ever, like since college, whatever. So I got everything, every channel,
What?
HBO, the whole thing, starting in 2 days. Because for work, I have to start watching more television.
You got to know what's going on.
I don't know where to even start. And I got the DVR, the whole thing. So it's happening.
amazing.
It's being installed on Tuesday.
What?
Yep.
We got to set up your DVR too, because
Will you show me how to do that?
You wouldn't know how to.
Dude, I can't even turn the TV on.
Yeah, true. Now you're gonna have another remote to handle.
Ugh, I hate that. Okay, so let's get into some emails.
Okay, what do you got?
So I got Emily, enjoy your show and appreciate the way you educate and entertain at the same time. You were talking to one of the interns last week, and the topic turned to men with confidence being sexy, and that women generally like it when a man takes them. And why don't men do that more? Taking a woman is a high-risk play for a guy, even when you're in a relationship. I'm sure there are some women who never object to being taken, but make that move at the wrong time, and the risk is not worth the reward. It's all about timing. Women that like that and want more of that would, in my opinion, do well to make sure the partner knows the look that says the time is right, or appreciate the thought, need a rain check. Shutdowns in this situation can be brutal, and it may be a long time before the guy tries it again. One man's perspective. Keep the good work, Jeff. So what we were talking about, you were not here last Friday, but I interviewed one of my interns about her sex life in great detail. And we were both saying that it was super hot when a guy just like takes you, like throws you against the wall. Not every time, like not abusively, not whatever, I'm not saying that. But like just fucking like has to have you and takes you and like rips your clothes. Like
right when you get in the door?
Yeah, Totally. And so he's saying, but if...
Can I call you a bitch?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
If you do it
and a whore.
Yeah, whatever.
In a classy way, though.
Totally
respectful.
classy.
Respectful.
Yeah, totally. That's hot. I think, personally, whatever. Sometimes, not every time. Like anything, everything's in moderation, right? We don't want it to get boring. But it's like guys don't do that because this Jeff is saying he's afraid of getting shut down. So he needs more information from the woman, like a look, like take me now. But we don't want to have to give you the look. We just want you to think to do it. Put in your calendar. I haven't taken her like that in 3 months.
Yeah. And then, you know what?
Do a little reminder on your calendar, your Google calendar.
And also,
whatever.
you know what? If she backs away and she's not into that, then you know what? You probably don't even want to get with that anyways.
Why? Some women aren't into it that though.
Yeah. Then F her and then go on to the next one.
Right.
What? What are you saying?
I'm saying that some women might not be into that, but a lot of women just want to feel like a guy has control and like really wants us and desires us.
Okay. What should a guy do if he encounters a situation that she's not into it? How does he rebound from that?
It's tough. But you got to move slowly. You got to do it slow. Like I wouldn't say that you could ease into it the first time. Just be like, I think you're so hot, grab her, whatever, and see if she's like, oh, that's too much, and she reacts. Like I wouldn't just do it, like do the whole thing. But then you just go back to do whatever you're doing. But I think a lot of women like that.
I think so too, but they just don't. They don't give you the sign, and then that's what guys always wait for, the sign. Even figuring out if a girl likes you or not, the guys don't even, take that extra step to even say, this is how I feel about you, because they get no signs at all. And even if a girl feels
men can't read signs.
Yeah, even if a girl feels like they're giving you a sign, the guy doesn't.
Men are really bad at reading signs.
Yeah.
It's actually there was a study that came out a few years ago that said men actually are not as adept at reading the signs from women and from anyone. Like they just don't. They miss it. Like you. That's why you wait for all the women. You wait for women to throw themselves at you because you're afraid of getting rejected by approaching a woman. You're afraid that you're going to get rejected.
I'm not afraid of getting rejected.
You're
but
not?
I just do not. I cannot read signs for shit.
Right.
Like at all.
Okay.
And then, years later, somebody messaged me, oh, I've always liked you. What? Like, I didn't see that at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
I always assume, I don't know, I guess it's different. You're right. But men are just not that. So you got to like, if you're attracted to any of these women though, like, did you ever hear it from a woman? Did a woman ever come to you and say, God, Menace, I was totally wanted to get in your pants. And you're like, damn, why didn't I know that? Well, why didn't you make the move when you were attracted to her?
Because I didn't think that she felt the same way.
But so what? Why not just put yourself out there and take the risk?
Well, I know that now, but when I was younger, I was a pussy.
I don't even think you're doing it now, though. You're not even doing it now.
I kind of do it now, but now I'm way more selective. I don't throw myself at it.
You never threw yourself, did you? I feel like you've always been safe. Okay, so anyway, the point of this is like, I get it. Like, there's some women that I'm not saying that every woman. Actually, there's nothing that every single woman wants. We're all really, really different. We were just saying.
Well, one
and
thing
my
they want
intern's
is
20.
money.
What?
They want money. That's what all of them
Yeah,
want.
right. All women want money.
That's one common ground.
I actually think that money is a lot. Someone who has tons of money, it actually can hurt a relationship.
Totally.
Because it totally affects you. Dude, really? There was actually a really interesting study the other day that I saw that said that men who make less money are actually more attractive partners to women because they're not douchebags. What?
Fixer-uppers.
No, they're not fixer-uppers. They're just like more genuine and real. And they're like guys who have tons of money. They walk in a room. They're kind of cocky. They're like, I've got this going on. I don't really need to make effort with anybody because I'm so successful and I'm above everybody else. But like the dude who's not like super wealthy or whatever, but like fine, he's just more like affable and gets along with everyone. There was like 10 points of why you should date a guy without money. It was very funny. I should bring that in.
Please.
Someone
Post
write that down.
website.
Dexter, will you write that down? I won't remember. Okay, let's move into this next email. Dear Emily, men don't undress women anymore because your clothes are a pain in the ass. Shirts are all different. If they're tight and won't come over your head, it easily gets awkward. Tight jeans are hard to pull off, and now some have 2 buttons that take small fingers to manipulate. It's like completing a Survivor challenge to get everything off. Start wearing easier clothes. Take the hard parts off and we'll do the rest. Otherwise, it starts to get uncomfortable and we just want to watch TV or laugh. I hope all is well. Jason from Baltimore. This probably stemmed from a conversation where I was saying, why don't men undress you anymore? This is like the same fucking thing. God, I'm swearing a lot today. Sorry.
Because you guys...
Okay, what?
That's why I don't want some crazy-ass lingerie. Because it's a pain in the ass to take off.
No, but the thing is that there's something about like slowly undressing a woman, not being like, "Can you just get naked now because we're about to have sex? Can you do that?" Like
That's for you. That's for you.
This guy I dated for a long time. He's like,
crap.
"Why do you still have clothes on?" That's how we would have sex. He's like, "Why do you still have your clothes on?" I'm like, "Why don't you take them off me like once? It's hot. Don't you see that all the like just." Slowly take off my clothes. It's not that hard.
Is just so crazy.
You don't want to take off a bra. You're like a grown man. You've taken off a bra before.
Sometimes you guys, the way that things are put together, it's insane.
But at least make the effort. You can know how to unbutton a shirt.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a dress. It just slips off right now, by the
Cool.
way.
You're easy.
I am easy, but we know that
Some
already.
women aren't.
I know. So, when was the last time you were with a woman and you undressed her? Do you even remember? No, you're drunk. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Nothing. Go ahead. Because the last statement was true. Go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead.
I thought you were going to fight me on that.
No.
So you don't even remember how the clothes came off. You don't even remember the sex.
Somehow they magically come
Right.
off.
Amazing. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe you just like.
Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever. It's all
Okay.
a days.
Great. Sounds hot. Dear Emily, first off, just want to say that my long-term boyfriend and I are both recent listeners and we love your show. Our sex life has greatly improved from the discussions that stem directly from the topics discussed on your show. However, we want to continue to strive for improvement and want to do your proposed 30-day sex challenge. While I'm all for having sex for 30 days straight, there is a slight physical limitation. I've had a problem in the past where after having sex multiple times in a short time frame, things start to feel a bit sore and sensitive down there. After a certain point, lube just doesn't seem to have any effect. Are there any tips or tricks for me to do this challenge with my boyfriend without it being so painful? Thanks, Amy and Josh. Sure. So I talk about the 30-day sex challenge where I think couples who want to enhance their sex life, are struggling to get their connection back, is to make this commitment that we're going to have sex every single day for 30 days, no matter what. Like, no matter what happens, like kids are crying, you lose your job, like too much work to do, whatever the hell, you have sex. So, Amy, if you experience pain, I would say sex doesn't necessarily mean you have to have intercourse. You could do other things. You could give a sensual massage. You could stimulate him. You could whatever. Like you should take a few days off. Fellatio is always a really popular something. You could even probably perform oral sex on you, and it wouldn't hurt as much as the penetration, like because it's on the outside, unless you stick your fingers inside. But basically, there's other things you can do. I would say that you are still a participant in the 30-day sex challenge if you don't actually have intercourse. But if you hurt and you're suffering and you're in pain, stop for a few days.
There's always the butt, too.
You have to give the vagina rest.
You know.
Butt. True. That's so true. 30-day sex challenge. I've actually never even done the 30-day sex challenge myself, but I would like to because I haven't been with anyone for 30 days.
I know.
That's not true. Of course I have. Of course I have before.
They can't last the Emily gauntlet.
So not true. I have.
Even the dog couldn't last 30 days.
My dog lasted 60 days.
What?
I had the dog for 60 days before
not a consistent 60 days. He took breaks. He took mini vacations.
It's really hard being a single parent. Being a single parent is really hard, and I'm both really and I'm super super busy. Okay, so Emily, dear Emily, my wife is somewhat open to watching porn with me. However, she's very conservative and finds traditional porn for men cheesy, and she's not as interested as I am. Can you suggest a genre or perhaps some titles that may that are directed more towards a woman's interest? I'm having troubles finding a more erotic area of porn. From Tom. Okay. So I love Fire TV because they're our sponsors and we love them. FYRETV.com. You can check out Fire TV. You can watch it anywhere on any of those places, iPad, iPhone, laptop. Your television, you can get a set-top box like I have with 20,000 titles of porn in my home, which I had before I had cable, which I don't have yet. But the point is, you can sort, if you don't want to go to Fire TV anywhere, there's lots of websites, adamandeve.com, that you can go to where they have, most sites do split porn into like female-friendly porn. Like there's a lot of porn that that is made geared more towards women. And most of these sites that you go to will have that genre and break it down. Yeah. Usually women want the plots. Men just want the, what do you want?
We want the facials.
Right.
Yes. But let me tell you, I don't have Fire TV, but after seeing your Fire TV, anybody that's used Netflix or they've used Hulu or, any network television website to watch a video online, like Fire TV is set up through the categories and everything. It blows all those out of the water on how simple, and you can find everything that you want to find in seconds. It's insane on how well it's put together. I wish they would advise like Hulu and Netflix.
I know,
I can
it's
never
awesome.
find anything on those freaking websites.
I know. It's really cool. And it's also like you can, so they have like women friendly erotica and just like search around online. I don't have any like that come to my mind right now, but yeah. You don't even really like porn though.
No, I'm not a big porn watcher.
Right. I am now, sort of. I mean, I, didn't before, but now that I have 20,000 titles in my home, it's awesome. You can get their set-top box, which is cool. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our guest.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna
John,
move
come on
back
here. We gotta
camera.
get close, which we've already done before, so we can do that.
Hold on, let me see if his mic is good. Go ahead.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi
you
there.
want to stay
We'll
close to
turn
the
you
mic.
up a little
Okay.
bit. All right.
Okay, let me recap. Hi. Okay, are we good on camera? Are we, everything's happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
So, there's an organization in San Francisco called OneTaste, and I've heard about them for a long time. And Nicole Daedone, the founder, was on the show, and it's all about the slow sex movement, the art and craft of the female orgasm. Is her book that she wrote. And it's all about orgasmic meditation, which I didn't really know much about. And Nicole was on the show, and she was like, "Oh my god," because you know me, like, I'm kind of up for anything. Like it's research, right? And so Nicole was like, "You should come on one of our retreats." And I've always been like intrigued. And like years ago, I was at OneTaste, but everyone's like, "Come in, do it." I'm like, "That's cool, that's cool. I'm just gonna have a meal and leave." And then she was like, "You have to do it. You have to come to this thing." Not have to. She's not like evangelistic about it, but she wasn't forcing it. But she was like, "You should come do this thing." So I signed up for a weekend. I was like, "Okay, I'm going to do it," and I did not know what to expect at all. And if you want to listen to, I believe it was this week's Monday show.
No, it was Tuesday.
Oh, right, because you were
wasn't
gone,
here, yeah.
and Menace had to be here to make fun of me. Mm-hmm. So Tuesday show, I talked a lot about my experience there, and but I want to talk to John. So John is an active member of OneTaste, and he practices orgasmic meditation, or OM'ing as we call it. And so I learned all about it, and we should talk a little bit. Let's like recap on it. So how would you describe orgasmic meditation?
With you or in general?
We'll get to me in a second.
Okay.
Well, first, what got you to this whole thing, movement?
Good question. I
Hold on. No, we should explain what it is.
Let's explain what it is first. Okay.
Okay, so
I was trying to decide on my brain. I couldn't,
It's a practice where two people come together. It's usually a man and a woman. And it's a practice where the stroker will put 100% of his attention on your genitals and on your clit, and he'll stroke for 15 minutes. And the only thing that you're supposed to do is pay attention to the sensation that happens.
The woman's supposed to do is pay attention to the sensation.
And the man as well. So the only thing he has to do is keep stroking and focus and pay attention to the sensation that he feels in his body as well. It's like a mindfulness practice where the only thing you're supposed to do is come back to the stroke and come back to the sensation you feel in your body, and that's it. If you've done that, you've done it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now there's a lot more in there, but that's like the basics.
And you have to be trained, right? You can't just go in like off the street.
We have like pretty extensive OM trainer program where a lot of guys come in and they learn the technique.
We're going to just move the microphone over there. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's easier to talk in the mic
How's
close
that?
like
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Much better. Yeah.
Okay. And it takes some time. It's like any craft. Like you might think, it's a finger and a clit, and you can just go down there and do your thing, and it's done. And it's actually, I've been doing it for about 18 months now, and it really is a craft. Like it takes time to really understand not only the anatomy and the sensibility it takes to stroke this like very delicate place. And then there's a lot of feeling things that happen, and there's a lot of intuition involved, a lot of things that you just start to sense. Mm-hmm. And we like to say on some level, it's like eventually you learn to play a very fine instrument. Mm-hmm. So like it takes time to get there too.
Right,
Because you
right.
fumble at first and it's like a little nerve-wracking and you think you know what you're doing, and suddenly like a deer in the headlights, you don't.
Right.
Or I didn't, at least.
Yeah, most guys don't.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just say that
Yeah.
most men do
Yeah.
not. Most men are where you were 18 months ago,
Yeah.
right? They're
Yeah.
fumbling around. They
Yeah.
kind of know the clitoris. They've heard of it. But they don't really know what to do.
I remember my first OM. It was a disaster.
Really?
Like, I was so nervous, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and you're kind of confronted a bit because you think you know, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, all the stuff comes up around performance and pleasing a woman, and we're supposed to know everything, and somehow along the way, like that sex ed class in 8th grade, like it doesn't count,
Right.
in a way. So it was a little humbling at first,
Right.
and then slowly you kind of like get through some of the blocks, and then bam, you hit a pocket of like pure, sweet orgasm, and everything changes.
Right. And how long did it
Yeah.
take till you got to that point?
It happens in flashes. Like, it probably took me a few months of fumbling
Right.
and sticking to it and
Right.
quitting
It's just like everything. You
and
have to like
coming back.
stick through. Right.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
about. So what is like the philosophy behind it? Like why? It's like what? Yeah. So now I want to know what drew you there.
Well, you know, from what I've come to understand, it's like on a deeper level, it's like men have always been able to like go towards sex and have it and be the ones that can own it and have confidence there and take it if they want it. And in a way, what this practice is doing, it's starting to reverse that, where the woman can, in a safe space, truly like get into her own orgasm and experience it. Because what happens is you start to get more fuller and fuller and fuller, and then the woman comes from full, and then the whole game changes. Like, when the woman is coming from empty, it's not the same. But a woman that's been OM'ing for like a fair amount of time, suddenly she's full of sex and she's full of her own orgasm and she's on. And then suddenly it's a totally different dynamic that happens between the man and the woman when
Right.
she comes from totally turned on and full. And
Right.
that's what we're doing. Like, we're stroking these women in order to get them like overflowing, because then it kind of spills into us and
All
everybody
right.
wins.
So what do you get out of this?
Good question. You know, it's
Because-
changed. It's changed over the months. Like, as of late, I'd say the past 6 months, is that I get to feel her orgasm, and it's exquisite.
And her vagina. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's part of
So-
it. Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that why you signed up for this? Be like, oh, I get to touch random women's vaginas, or what?
You know, like, I never had like a big problem like getting women or hooking up or getting to that area. So it wasn't so much for me like, oh, I want to get in here because this will give me access. It wasn't so much about that for me personally. There are some guys that might come from that place, and that's okay too, because after a while, after you do go through the experience of what it takes to do it, it's not the...
It probably weeds
Yeah.
out those guys too.
It kind of does. Like, a lot of
'Cause
those guys
it's intense.
bounce. They bounce out because
Right.
it's not quite what they expect
Right.
it to be.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
Okay, then what do you get out of it then, if that is not the goal?
Well, it's starting to get to a point where it's starting to feel so amazing for me when I do it. Like it feels good. It feels really good. And sometimes, you know, that's enough. It's
Now,
like,
does it
yeah.
lead... Is it a good place to hook up with chicks, or what?
It can be, but it's intention, because it's like a contained thing that we're really doing it to, it's why it's in a container, right? So it's 15 minutes. The woman takes off her pants. We get into position. We stroke. The pants go back on. And then we like to say after that, whatever you want to do, you can do, but it keeps the container like fixed, so the woman can go into this place without feeling like, am I going to have to reciprocate? Do I have to do something here? And then what happens after? Like, everyone's an adult, you can do what you want, but
so how much do I have to pay to touch a random chick's vagina and then eventually maybe sleep with them?
Oh, how much do you have to pay?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, you have to find a woman to stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do, you can come in and we teach you the very basic.
Now, how
stroke.
much does it cost to be part of this organization?
Well, I think an OM trainer session is $120. So you can come in, you'll spend about an hour and a half with
I think
one of
Menace should
our
do
coaches.
So I pay how much? $125, and then you guys hook me up with random chicks that I can touch their vagina.
You actually have to find your own woman. Like, we're not in the business of like finding women for men.
But don't women just come in and do this?
Emily asked me for an OM. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. That's
Did
what
I
it
ask
is.
you?
Yeah.
I did ask you.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were assigned to me at first.
Now, how often do you masturbate after touching a woman's vagina that you just met?
If I'm honest, it's rare. It's interesting. Like, you would think that you would get into the position and have a hard-on, and I would say most of the time you don't. It might seem strange, like, how could you not? It's weird. It's almost like you can feel the energy of sex at times, but it doesn't always necessarily lead to like an erection or like that thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
So and there have been some women over the past 18 months, a few come to mind, where there was a lot of sex in the OM and a lot of like literal turn on where like the man would get an erection, and that has happened to me, but I would say most of the time it doesn't.
Okay, then I must have misunderstood, because I thought there was just women going to this, and I thought women would just go to this, and then you are the professionally trained stroker.
It's not like that.
So the strokers have to bring their own chicks?
Yeah, there's like, again, like, we don't pair men up with women to do this. So if you want to come in and do it, you would have to find a woman. But the one thing we do is we have like OneTaste events where like we'll have like an in-group or a special night where like 100 people will be there, and most of the women in the room OM. And if you're there, you obviously are there with OneTaste, and you strike up a conversation, you strike up a chat about it, and
So the girls you bring in, those are your girls. You're not sharing them with anybody else, right?
He doesn't bring in girls, he's saying. There's people who join, they take courses, they teach it.
I know what I'm saying. I go, this is, the way it's explained is kind of, I'm getting mixed answers here, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. So as a teacher, you bring in the women, right? Or does a woman say, I want to go,
class.
I want to take class?
She takes classes. There's
okay,
classes
that's
for
what
women.
I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So random. So that's when I was saying, you can touch random women's vagina. You're like, no, I got to bring my own chick in. Like, okay, that's the part that's getting confused here.
Yeah, we do courses as well that, like, for example, we'll have a gender balance course. So it'll be like 10 women and 10 guys. And then you're in the course for a weekend. And then over the course of the weekend, you make connections with people in the course. Then a desire might come up like, oh, I'd love to OM with that. I'd love to OM with her. So then it's up to you to ask her if the woman would like to. You might get a no, you might get a yes, you might get a I'm not sure. And its intent is to give you the fertile ground to ask if you want, and if you get a yes, then you're free to OM after the course. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to what you said about that it feels, because Menace's question to you, his first question was like, what do you get from it? And what you said is it's so hard to even explain, but like that you actually feel the woman's orgasm.
Yeah.
And that is very pleasurable. You feel it in your body. But that didn't happen the first few months, right?
It didn't. Yeah.
But it's like any kind of meditation practice, which I've done, or any kind of practice. Like the first time you go to the gym, you're not like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah. It's like you have to practice those muscles. So what does that feel like? Where does it, how do you feel it? What does it feel like?
It's true what you said, like it doesn't happen immediately.
Right.
It's been ridiculous as of late, I gotta say. Like, there have been some experiences in the past 4 or 5 months where, like, I have felt like there's this, like, euphoric, like, crack feeling of, like, it's hard to explain.
I know, it's hard to
truly
explain
like,
orgasm.
Like, how do I explain how your orgasm feels? Like,
I
on
know,
some
I
level
can't
it's
even
ineffable,
explain it.
but it's like really euphoric and like high tinny, pleasurable high notes feeling.
Right.
And there's a limbic thing that happens apparently when a woman goes into orgasm, like oxytocin is released.
Right.
And then what happens when a woman releases that is that suddenly we're in a field together of oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone that happens at birth. And so it's like that starts to happen within the OM too. And then you pop up like we did, if you remember, and it was like, whew, like there was no veil between us.
Right.
Whereas normally, to be honest, there would have been a veil with you.
What?
Like
Okay.
I would have put a lot of story on you, like you're like really hot and this person, and you come in and like all my story of like, how am I going to be with this woman? Am I going to try to pick her up? And am I going to be cool? Am I going to like not show that I'm attracted here?
Right.
And then suddenly we sat down, we had the OM, and we popped up, and it was like, whew, like I could just be with you in a way that had no story on it. And that's why we're friends. I don't have to like be here in posture. Right. And it feels good.
Yeah.
To be able to.
We broke down some walls.
Yeah.
He massaged my clitoris. Yes. Stroked it. So, yeah. And so, okay, so do you want to talk about that? Should we talk about that experience?
I thought you just did.
No, well, not enough.
Okay.
To get into it. What's wrong?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you getting it more? Sort of?
Yeah, no, I get
whatever.
it. I got it.
If you want to come in, we can do a.
No, I mean,
I think you should.
I mean, there's
Miss.
a ton of orgy groups out there that I can.
It's not an orgy group.
It's just a different form of orgy group.
No, it's not.
How's it not?
It's so not orgy.
That's just two people.
You're not having intercourse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a different form. You're not having intercourse.
I think it would serve you well to learn about the woman's
How is
body.
it different from an orgy group if you're getting 10 different guys and 10 different women together to do things like this?
It's not done in a big group. It's like you go into a private room and you have
private room.
Yeah.
No one's watching you. Like there's not.
Yeah, orgy parties you do that too.
Yeah, but it's only two people.
So, what do you think that you've learned about women by doing this? Like, how is it? How is your?
Well, it's like, look, we're in a space and time where it's like men can have their sex and women can feel. And what this does is it flips where women can have their sex and men can feel. So on some level, it teaches men to feel in ways that we as kind of are a bit denser. Like you were saying earlier on the show, like men don't pick up the signals. Men don't attune to a feeling sense. And basically it helps you attune in that place and like really get more, more
in touch with what women want.
Yeah,
So like do you feel like you 18 months ago before that, like so different how you would have sex with women or how you would be with a woman? It's just probably totally different now.
It is. It's like there's a place where you learn to go a lot slower.
Right.
You learn to like really do things for your own pleasure. There's an amazing thing happens when you're not trying to do it for her. You're doing it for yourself. Like when I stroke, it starts to feel like these undulating, like amazing feelings, and I'm doing it because it feels good for me.
Right.
When you're like in a sex act, when you're doing something because it feels good for you, that gets the other person off the hook, and they're free then. And then what happens is you're both. It's a different kind of sex happens at that point. Yeah.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So how many chicks have you owned, do you
I'd
think?
say probably at this point around 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the 18 months.
Any of them were like, oh, God. I don't know.
What'd you say?
Any of them are like, oh, goddamn, I don't want to own this chick right now.
Probably.
You know what? We're men. We have our preferences. There's no doubt about it.
Holy crap, I got to own this chick right now.
Yeah, I know. There's got to be some women that you're like,
I actually
really?
had an experience in my very first OM where there was 6 of us in the class, so I knew it was 3 guys and 3 women, and I knew one of these women I'd be stroking. and I was terrified. There was one woman in the class that I was absolutely terrified of, and like the night before, I was freaking out, afraid that like they were going to pair me, and like I was like, no, and I ended up not having to. But you're right. There's a preference,
right?
That, yeah. And what's cool too is that what happens is eventually, it opens up another idea, which is like suddenly you're stroking someone that not in a million years would you ever be attracted to, but then you feel them. And it feels really good, and you're like, "Oh, it's kind of weird."
Right. Like you feel it, like in your body. Like it's hard to explain if you haven't.
And the story in your head's going, "I do not want to feel this woman this way. I do not. No part of me wants to feel this." And you do. And what do you do then? Because what's real, your story or what you're feeling? Right. And then there's some women you're like, "Oh, I cannot wait to get in there and do it," and you feel fucking nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're like, so at that point, what's real, right?
Right.
So this is where there's an evolutionary leap happening here where, like, we have so much story around our sex because we are men and we're visual and we're like, it's a certain thing, and then there's nothing there, you know? So it's the whole gamut, you know? And it was nice to stroke Emily. I will not lie.
Sweet.
Yeah. What? Why?
Why? Well, I mean, I had a bit of story at first, like you're gorgeous, and I was like, come on, I get to that's amazing. So
like, this is why I do this,
right? It's like this is great. So there's a bit of that. What was the question? Why
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It was.
She likes compliments, so just come up with a couple, and then
it was hot. Like you're like totally. What was great is that like obviously you're immersed in sex. It's your life, right? So you were just like bam, pants off, up for it, down there, went, and I was like, it just felt so good to have you like in a free fall state where you were just up for it,
right?
Because it was like a bit of an experiment. You're like, what is this about?
Yeah.
You know, and it felt great to have you so free in that place.
Yeah, I felt very free. Like I thought I was gonna be nervous, but I was just like, I don't know. I felt very open. I just like dropped my drawers and do it.
And then you sank in like amazing. I got to say, like a lot of women at first, like. Every woman is in a different place in her orgasm, and like sometimes it takes a woman like 10 ohms to feel anything, and some the first time they drop in and bam, they're going, and that was you. You were like pretty much like able to get out of your head completely and drop in your body almost instantly, and you were like in that state pretty quickly.
So are these mostly single women that are coming in and doing this?
No, it's both. Actually, there's a lot of couples that come in, like couples that have been together for years and their sex life is kind of starting to dwindle. So they come in and the men like learn this stroking technique in order to basically get that energy like back in her body. Because if you like pay attention here every day and learn to like bring this energy in, the woman is obviously a lot more turned on. So, and then the guy gets what he wants because his woman wants it, you know?
It's cool. Yeah. So do you have to sit there and... while another guy is touching your girl's cha-cha while he's explaining like how to...
Totally, we're up in there. Like I'm an Om coach too, and like...
What kind of scuba gear do you wear?
We go in there with the mining helmets and the light, and you get right up in there because you have to. And there's a very specific place. It's
I love San Francisco.
Right? It's like we start in the upper left-hand quadrant of her clit, right under the hood, and it's where there's 8,000 nerve endings. Apparently, it's like where there's more nerve endings there than any part of the human body, both male and female. So it's like that's the place to start, and you trigger orgasm right in this one specific place. Then after you master that one place, then you can move on to other areas of the clit that elicit other responses.
Now, let's say
it's wild, dude. It's
let's
like
say
a whole universe.
Let's say I don't want to go in the private, little dungeons that you guys have. Do you have an app or something like that?
Menace is very technologically.
Because do you know what? We're already thinking about that. There's a stroking app that we've said jokingly at first, and now it's upon us. No doubt there will be an app soon, and there's nothing like the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get in there and do it.
There's a little map. Say, hey, that little place that you were
there is
talking about?
There's a book. There's
actually, we have drawn
but it's a book,
out
app, dude. Come on.
Okay.
Videos too.
Right.
There's videos you can watch. I watch, women getting owned and the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's not your traditional orgasm. Like, I wouldn't say that I had like a traditional orgasm. Like, for me, like it wasn't. But it's just like this sensation that's different. But I guess that would change after.
Yeah.
It evolves and changes after we do it. After I do it again, and if I kept with the practice.
It's a different definition of orgasm. It's not like the fleeting climax.
Right.
It's extending the waves of it in order to let it build, not have it spike and go down.
Right.
So it's not even about climax, although some women do go over, we call it, in an OM. Most don't.
Because most don't have like it's not like you're climaxing.
Right. Because the way we stroke is like really slowly to elicit an organic, deeper orgasm within you instead of like getting you off to have you go to a climax and go over.
Right. Like I have a friend who went there and she was like, I just wanted him to go harder. Like I just wanted to, like, you want to have that orgasm. But it kind of, it's like, it's supposed to be like it expands the energy through your body.
It's different. It's a different model we're building that Nicole is so amazingly pioneering.
Why do you think some of them fail? Is it because we talk about this on the show all the time that
who fails?
Where they don't get to where they want to be.
Men?
No, women. Like they don't get to that orgasmic state that they want to.
Are you talking about a climax state or
a climax state?
Okay.
And wherever you are leading them.
Yeah.
Does you lead them to the promised land every single time? Or did sometimes it fails? And why do you think it fails? Is it because we talk about here all the time women can't orgasm because they overthink things?
Right. Well, two things. One, I'm not doing it, although it might seem as if I am.
Yeah.
The orgasm itself is the involuntary in her body that I'm stroking to come out. Like, I'm not causing it. I'm stroking until it activates within her own body. And then like a top starts spinning, it starts to spin, and then I just have to keep doing this, keep hitting it, and it keeps spinning. But it's not me doing it. Second of all, like, I had a disastrous OM this morning. It was horrible. Like, almost halfway through it, I almost got up and, like, left.
Wow.
Okay? So it's not all roses. Like, there was anger in the OM. There was, like, I was failing in the OM, which is how it felt to me. And then I got triggered and pissed off. And it was like, it was horrible. And that's part of it. Like, we're here to experience, like, the full range of things.
Right.
And her anger met mine, I think. And all of a sudden it was like, poof, and it kind of went off in a way. So it's not all roses. Like, it's great most of the time. And sometimes there's emotions in there and things that happen that are real. And they come up in the OM. And that's why OM is kind of amazing. Like, whatever's there, it will surface. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What have you learned about, so you've owned 50 women, and would you say that, about 50 women?
Yeah.
What would you say about all the different, what have you learned about women, like their orgasms and their bodies and their clitorises? Like, what would you say that you've learned?
I would say there is no one woman that is the same. Everyone is unique. Like, it is amazing the range of anatomy that I've seen. Like, some clits, the OM is over, and I never saw it. I never quite felt it. To a clit that the minute you're down there, it's already out, going like, stroke me.
Right.
And everything in between. So it's been an amazing thing.
Sounds like you're in the fucking Matrix, man.
Dude, when you go down into that space, it's how it can feel.
Most men just don't. Like, they don't take the time. They don't. They know that there's something there, but they're not, like, looking at it and
right.
learning.
It's like full attention on it. And it goes a long way. Like, just to give men a chance to, like, focus here and to bring some technique in and to bring some of the learning that we've found around, like, the clit has more nerve endings than any place on the body. It means one micro move of your
more
finger.
More than the penis.
Right. It's more. One micro move of
Why are you looking
finger.
at me when you say that? More than the penis. And then you're just, like, shaking your head.
It's your fault.
This is why we're better. Like, I get it. You guys are amazing. But it's just so hard to satisfy you guys in every way. That's why us men have problems. We don't care that you guys have more nerve endings than us.
But you
so
should.
Don't
you should
look
be
at
like,
me
wow, look at that nerve-packed clit.
No,
I really want to get in there.
It's not like I'm jealous, though. You're like shaking your head like I should be jealous.
Yeah, I should be jealous of my clit. Yeah, Menace. I've always wanted you to be jealous of my clit. That's what I'm going for today.
No, that guys should be jealous of women. That's all.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So every woman. So you've seen all these different like machinations of the vagina, but what about their orgasms too? All different.
Again, all different. It's interesting. I had a first OM the other day with a woman, and like it felt jangly. Like I could feel parts in there that were like exquisite and amazing, and then there were parts in there that were like kind of disconnected and jangly. And I was like, wow, like this is where she's at. And the man can start to feel that.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, it's such a unique, it's wild. Like you start to OM with a woman and you start to know exactly who she is.
Really? Like how? Like what do you learn from a woman?
Okay. So I had this OM the other day, and it was a woman that I'm interested in. And what happened was my desire got hot for her over these weeks, and I freaked her out. I started to get grabby and a little pulley, right? And it turned her off, and then I went into wrong, and I felt awful, right? And then when I'm in that place and I'm losing, I'm kind of fucked because I don't know how to act then.
Right.
I'm kind of needy. I want it. I don't know how to be vulnerable and show that I kind of want to hook up and be in there. And then she feels the grabbiness and is just like, fuck off, wants nothing to do with it, right? So we had this like 2 weeks where it was just so awkward between us. And then I was like, why don't we have an OM? And we did, and it was amazing. Like her clit, I learned in the OM, like her clit would not come out and meet me. It wouldn't. So I'm in there trying to get it.
Had you OM'd her before?
Yes.
Okay.
Months ago. But I'm in there trying to get it, which is when you overlay like what those weeks were. I was trying to get it. It
was like manifesting. Right. It was like a projection of what was going on in your life.
I realized that I needed to stroke a little off of it and a little slower and let her come to me a bit.
Oh, right.
And it was like, holy shit, like I had the burst go off in the OM where how I had been relating to her was like I was trying to get it, and she just wouldn't.
Right.
And then I realized with her that if I just go off of it a bit, like don't be so frontal with her, be off her a bit, and to stroke like a little slower and a little patiently, she'll come out and meet me. And she did.
Wow.
And then towards the end of the OM, she started to like emerge and her orgasm started to come out. And I was like, holy shit, I got it.
Right.
I'm like, I've been overstroking you in life.
Right.
Like pulling on you and all this stuff. And I learned in that moment how to handle her.
So now what? Now you guys sleeping together?
And then we talked about it afterwards.
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, like I've been doing this. And it all appeared in the OM. We had this amazing kind of bonding thing where all of the story and all the shit that we had been through in those weeks became apparent in the OM.
Right.
And we can like start at friends again and just like laugh about it and talk about it and say.
That's great.
And then I say, yeah, I'm vulnerable in there. Like I have these desires that come up and I don't know what to do with them. And now I know like when I feel it just to like,
Yeah, that's cool.
That actually is a good explanation of kind of what
That's
happened.
A really good explanation.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's so much to the female, to the, to our bodies and to our orgasms that there's so much more meant to learn.
You're complicated beings.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
we gotta
we're good.
wap
We gotta
up.
run.
Yeah.
Damn.
Thank you. That was fast.
quick.
I
They
told
go
you it's too
fast.
fast, and that wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, everyone. This is John. He's from OneTaste. If you want, what's the website?
Yeah, it's OneTaste.us.
OneTaste.us. If you want to learn more about it. And thanks everyone for listening to Sex with Emily. Let me make sure I have all the information here that I should say. Yeah, we won't be here Monday, but we'll be here Tuesday. And hope everyone has a great holiday weekend. Thanks so much for listening to Sex with Emily. Was it good for you? Email me feedback@sexwithemily.com.